guys, welcome back to Simply Fujica, a place for budding and inspiring entrepreneurs. Guys, I truly want to thank you for watching today's video. I know there are millions of channels out there, but you guys take the time to support mine, and I really do appreciate that. Guys, today we're talking about when you're hiring your employees, how are you actually categorizing them? So are you hiring them as a W-2 employee or a 1099? I get this question a lot. So I wanted to talk about that. But before we jump into the topic, I want to say this. I will always give you opinions. I will always give you my real life experience. And of course, I will define both of them for you. However, I want to make sure that as a business owner, you are doing your own due diligence and you're doing your own research so that you can make the best possible decision for you, your employees, and your business. Okay guys, with that, let's get started. So generally guys, when you want to hire an employee, you're going to go ahead and hire them as a W-2. All right, and so the W-2 will always be a part of the onboarding process. Now, if you are actually using some type of payroll system such as a Paycom or an ADP, those vendors, as you onboard them, that will be part of their process. So including with them setting up direct deposit, they're setting up their taxes, and they're filling out the information for the W-2. Okay, if not, you will just simply have to download that form for them to fill out. And you can find out all this information on the IRS website. I will make sure that that is linked below. But typically, whenever you are hiring people to work for your agency and or your company, they're going to be employees for you. And so I know for both businesses that I've had, I have never used a contractor. Now, the opposite side of that is if you hire me to do consulting for you, I would be a 1099 employee for you. Why? Because I don't work for you. However, I've provided a service for you. We had a short-term engagement. So maybe you hired me to do policies and procedures. Maybe you hired me to do a consulting hour with you, 2 hours, but we had an arrangement for a particular service. You're paying me for that service, and then now you want to report that you paid me for that service. That's when you would use a 1099. So you often hear the 1099 employees referred to as contract employees. Contract employees are just there for that. There's typically some type of contract or some specific type of timing or transaction that you want to have them on board for. So you're not hiring them as an employee. You're not paying them out benefits. There won't be a long-term relationship. It's usually spelled out at the beginning that this is a short-term transactional agreement. And based on that, you give them a 1099 to ensure that wages are reported appropriately. Now, as a home care agency, can you hire contractors? Yes, of course you can. So typically, and it's not uncommon to see in this agency where we have all heard of individual home health aides. So they don't work for an agency. They are really contracting themselves out as a service, or they consider themselves to be a business. So in that case, and you're going to have to make sure you know the laws on this, but if you're paying that person more than $600, you need to make sure that you're giving them a 1099. Now, what's really attractive to a lot of people with the 1099s is you don't have to worry about figuring out the taxes and what needs to be paid. As an employer, you're responsible for the taxes that you pay out as an employer, but in terms of collecting tax from that person so that they can pay their taxes, for a 1099 employee, that is on them. They are responsible for reporting their wages and paying taxes accordingly. So in that regard, you get to wipe your hand. You're letting the government know, I paid this person this amount of money, and it's up to that person receiving the funds to handle the taxes as a result of the monies that were earned. Now, the downside to hiring contractors versus a W-2 employee is that typically, because a contractor is coming to you, usually when you hire a contractor, they're coming to you with a certain amount of expertise. and you are willing to pay for that expertise. So when you look at it that way, you may not be paying them benefits, but typically you are paying them more per hour because of that expertise that you're looking for. So again, it could be considered a pro or a con. You are paying for that experience, you are paying for that knowledge that you need, but because that cost can be a little bit higher, that may cause a budget concern. Now, the other benefit to hiring someone as a W-2 employee or as a regular employee for you, at the time of hiring someone, you're really looking to that to be a long-term employment relationship. So this is where you put together a great onboarding experience for them. You're presenting them with an offer letter, right? You've spent some time recruiting them and really trying to find that perfect candidate. So that offer or that intent stays through that employee experience. Hopefully you have some type of 401k plan that you can offer them. You have medical benefits to offer them. So it's really an employment relationship that you're nurturing and fostering the whole time that that person is with you. Whereas that contractor is there for that specific need. You guys both sides have received what they wanted out of the transaction, and then that transaction ends. When you have an employee, you have that relationship, you have that employment engagement, and you nurture that relationship for the length of that person's employment. So when making your decision, there are a few questions that you want to ask yourself. The first question is, how many people do I need to hire? And when you consider that number, is that number for a peak in the time frame that you need them? Do you think that this is going to be a short-term engagement? Do you need that person just to come in to solve a quick problem and then you're done with them? So if it's more shorter term, you don't expect to pay benefits, you may be paying them a little bit more money, or this is not a long-term position that you need to hire, then you may want to consider hiring this person as a 1099 contractor. However, if this is to fulfill an actual business need that may be long-term and you're willing to make more of an investment, then you want to consider hiring this person as an employee. Okay guys, so that's all I have for you today, guys. This was just a quick video to really talk to you about the differences between W-2, 1099. But guys, what did I miss? Put it in the comment section. I would love to speak to you guys about it. We can get the conversation going. So what are some differences that you see between 1099 and W-2 employees? Is there a difference? What do you prefer to hire and why? Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to help out the channel and hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time I drop a new video. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. Stay blessed.